with whatever it is that you do, you need to long-term plan. You need to long-term think. We discussed a budget at the beginning of this episode. A budget simply looks at 1 year in the future. Start looking at 2, 3, 4, 5 years in the future. Welcome to Osage Financial. In today's episode, long-term thinking. If you're a student, we hope you find the information in this episode valuable to you. If you're a company looking for accountants, click the link below and we'll be in touch with you as soon as possible. My grandfather always told me the value of long-term thinking. It allows you to see and predict the future, and then you will be able to act on it. Long-term thinking allows for foresight. In accounting, we call it budgeting. Every year, in the fourth quarter of the year, we plan for the following year. We create our revenue targets. We imagine what our expenses will be, what our assets and liabilities will be. And that allows us to act on that planning, on that long-term thinking, on that foresight to reach our goals. Really, the number one reason for long-term thinking allows you to have a compass to where your goals are. Long-term thinking is essentially you imagining yourself in the future. I've always valued the thought that the future starts in your mind. The future starts in the present. And then the actions you then take after that allows you to take the necessary steps to get to where you're going. The reason is attention goes where energy flows. If you create a long-term thought, you create a plan for it. In accounting, it's budgeting, right? You create a plan for it. Your attention will go exactly where that energy is. And then because you have that attention there, you begin to take the necessary steps to reach your progressive realization of that goal, of that dream, of that long-term thought that you had in mind. Because you're a long-term thinker, you should always be the best in your field. I used to listen to a guy named Earl Nightingale. He's like Napoleon Hill. He had this series called Lead the Field. When I was younger, I never really paid much attention to it, even though I was very curious about it. And as I grew older, and as I worked in different companies, worked with different people, eventually started my own company and brought in really smart people, I thought about, what does lead the field mean? Lead the field means be the best you are in what it is that you're doing. Our company does an amazing job of being an accounting firm. Our goal is to provide the highest quality value to the customers that walk in our door, that click on our website, that give us a call, that get in touch with us, that become aware of us. We want to give them the highest quality value. We realize we're a small accounting firm. However, we act, believe, think, long-term think as a giant accounting firm. And we, by all means, do our best to lead the field, to be the best at what we are, to be the best at what we do. The same applies to you in whatever industry or field that you're in. If you're a technician, if you're a truck driver, if you're a business owner, if you're a landscaper, if you're a politician, it does not matter. Leading the field means you take action as being the best at the thing it is that you're doing. The law of large numbers says, if you do something repeatedly over and over again, you likely increase the chances of success. If you do something 10 times, the chances of success could be 9 out of 10 or 5 out of 10. If you do something 1,000 times, now you're looking at the chances of success significantly higher. We're dealing with the law of large numbers. I say to the people that do sales for a company or the people that do sales for other companies, long-term thinking, law of large numbers, lead the field. If you are looking at the law of large numbers, you could go and make a sale to a customer for $300 and get a commission of $30, which is 10% of $300. Or you could go make a sale to 10 customers for $300 each. That's $3,000, and the commission of that will be $300. Or if you look at bigger numbers, you could make a sale of $3,000. On a single sale, you make a commission of $3,000. Both are the law of large numbers. Either you make 10 sales of $300 for $3,000 or a single sale of $3,000 and still get the commission of $300. Now imagine if you sell 10 of 3,000, now you have $30,000 and your commission is $3,000. This is the law of large numbers. You can apply this law in anything that it is that you do. And then when you take long-term thinking, apply the law of large numbers and the Pareto principle suggests that 20% of the people have the highest possibility of success. Meaning if you take the long-term thinking, the Pareto principle, the law of large numbers, you will absolutely give yourself the highest possibility of success. However, when we look back to where we started, it all takes long-term thinking. You must think what it is that you want to do. Are you a technician that wants to start a company? Create an LLC and follow through with it. Are you a company that does landscaping? Are you a company that does plumbing? Are you a company that's in the oil and gas field? What do you do? And with whatever it is that you do, you need to long-term plan. You need to long-term think. We discussed a budget at the beginning of this episode. A budget simply looks at 1 year in the future. Start looking at 2, 3, 4, 5 years in the future. My grandfather always told me that he thought of 25 years in the future. When I was younger and I was 10 years old, I was thinking, that's 25 years in the future. That's me at 35. I'm 35 years now. And for the most part, because he had the foresight, he had the long-term thinking, he could almost predict what are the chances of success for what it is that he wanted to do in the future. When he bought his farm, he didn't buy the farm in the immediate present. He thought in the past that, hey, in the future, I'd like to buy a farm. He worked on it. He thought about how it is that he will be able to do it. He acted on it, and then he realized his goal. This is a real actualization of long-term thinking. So in whatever it is that you do, we really absolutely recommend long-term thinking. If you're a student and you're going to school, you start as a freshman, you end up as a senior, and you graduate. Whether you realize it or not, someone planned that pathway for you, and then you're acting on the path that was pre-designed for you. When you get to college and you start making your own decisions and you decide to be an accountant, a doctor, whatever it is, there's a pre-designed path for you. Someone or some group of people created that long-term plan that takes you from being a freshman in college to being a senior in college graduating. Or when you graduate to becoming a residency at a medical center and then becoming a doctor. Or when you're apprentice plumber to becoming a master plumber. These are all examples of long-term thinking that people experience in their daily lives that you may not necessarily think about. However, they affect whatever it is that you're going through in your life. What we're telling you to do now with long-term thinking is to actually think about it. It is long-term thinking. Think about it, then act on it. What it is that you want to do, and then act on it. Do not just experience life as it happens. You wake up, you go through your daily routine, you sleep, and you repeat. You must experience life in your own creation. You must experience life with the law of large numbers. Think about what it is you want to do. Act on it. Act on it massively. You will realize your goal. Thank you for watching this episode of Osage Financial. We appreciate you. If you're a student, we really hope you found the information in this episode valuable. If you're a company, click the link below. We'll be in touch with you as soon as possible. Have a great day.